friends, it's Em, and today we are jumping back into my book bujo for some review spreads. So what's great about this is that I have already read and loved all of these books, although some of them I read a while ago and have forgotten what they're about, so that will be fun. Luckily, past me wrote the review, so we should be all good. But I have not been in my book bujo for reviews in a while. Clearly because if you recall, I have 3 book bujos right now. Today we're gonna finish out one of them. It's gonna be completely done. It's gonna be amazing. So here I am actually trying to replicate the cover of Valley Verified by Kyla Zhao. So this is about a fashion writer, Zoe Zhang, who gets headhunted by a tech company. And so she moves to Silicon Valley. And it's definitely more of like a contemporary women's fiction sort of thing rather than a romance. While there is romance, it's not like a bang, bang, bangity bang kind of romance. But I found this book to be so funny and compelling. It talks about things like, unwanted sexual advances in the workplace, as well as like a bit of like the gender gap in STEM. And I just really enjoyed it. I was literally laughing out loud at parts of it in messaging. I DM'd the author about, there's this thing about a vibrator in it, and I was dead. I was literally dying. I was like, is this real? And so Valley Verified actually comes out on the 17th. Most of these books I think have already come out, or I'll mention when they come out. But I'm just really excited for it. Like excited enough that this book is what got me to open my book bujo again. So I'm pretty happy with that. But overall, I feel like my book journal is definitely a place, it's kind of like a junk journal, but just with a little more direction in that I know that I want it to be bookish. But, I've never used colored pencils in my journal before, and I really liked it. I felt adept, or at least adept enough with it. And this spread really got me sort of like excited for the ones to come. I feel like the more sort of like artistic stuff that I do in it, which obviously I'm not planning this out in the least. I'm just doing all of this by sight. I feel like when I go in and pencil everything in, I just get so overwhelmed by like wanting it to be perfect. So I just throw caution to the wind, and we just free draw, free write everything. And it's just so pretty. It's so pretty. I wanted to do it in watercolor at first, but like I was scared. I was really scared, and then watercolor takes forever to dry. So like I knew that was not gonna be the move for me. Like I could have done it on a piece of sticker paper or a piece of watercolor paper ahead of time and then just like skipped this page and done it at the end, but I don't know. Also, I added some glitter washi tape just because I feel like for Zoe, like it's glitter. Like everybody loves glitter. Next, we're gonna do Raiders of the Lost Heart by Jo Segura, and we're actually this week on Wednesday. We are going to be Zooming with Jo over at the Joyful Chaos Book Club. Y'all are welcome to join us. The link will be on Discord as well as our Google Calendar, all that sort of fun stuff. This is like a rom-com retelling of Indiana Jones with like a gender flip in there, but like our sort of like lead archaeologist, Ford, I think is his name. He is essentially inept. Like, I'm really confused as to how he got a degree, but whatever. But so he's going on an expedition to find like this really not powerful, but like an ancient artifact, and he needs help because he's not an expert in this. Of course not. So he needs Corey. And so Corey is like Indiana Jones, a badass wonderful archaeologist. But problem is that she and Ford have some history, mostly because she thinks that he stole the it's like an assistantship sort of situation, fellowship, out from under her. And we, throughout kind of get to learn about their relationship and why things are the way they are. Also, this is my first attempt at like doing any kind of blending. Well, I don't know if it reads on camera, but like some parts of like the bottom part of it is a little darker. I tried. I experimented. We also have Unrealistic Expectations by Andy J. Christopher, which is about a therapist who starts fake dating a guy who got roasted for not performing in the bedroom. Also here, I used an Ardex paint pen initially, and it was really hard to read, so I went over it with this thin Posca, which is why like it just stops existing, essentially. Like there's no clips of me drawing it. But it's really short, it's really fun, it gets a little spicy, and I enjoyed it. It was like a perfect quick laundry day read. And then, oh my god, this one. Past, Present, Future by Rachel Lynn Solomon. If you follow the channel, I love Rachel Lynn Solomon. I love her so much. And so my friend Carson, she got an arc of this, but she hadn't read the first book yet, so she let me read it. And in it, there's this art of I think it's like the Boston and New York skylines. And so I took a picture of one of the chapters because I knew I was going to want to put it in my journal. And so I couldn't tell you which one this is. I'm not familiar with skylines. But I knew that I needed to put it in there. And so I'm so glad that this turned out. Like, it's really simple. It's just lines. Like, even, it's not perfect. It's absolutely not perfect, but you can tell what it is. It's a skyline. Like, there's a sky right there. I was also using the Ardex paint markers. And so what I like about them is that they're brush tip. They are going to be sending me some stuff later, but like this was not sent to me. This is just an honest review. It definitely works better. The white pen works better on darker colored paper as compared to like the pink paper that I wrote on earlier. But they're just so vibrant, and I love that I don't have to shake them, because that's the big thing, is that my hand gets tired from shaking. For the tiny little Posca pen, I did have to shake it initially, but then it was just like game time, ready to go situation. And then rather than, I initially thought I was going to put the sticker in the corner. And the sticker meaning the cover that I printed on sticker paper, because I use so much of my Tombow adhesive. It's ridiculous how much I use when I'm like gluing in all of these papers and things like that. But I ended up just sticking it in the middle of the skyline, because there was a perfect sized sort of like a little spot for it. It was great. And I really like that nowadays they're doing a lot of like closer to handwritten titles, because then it looks like almost perfect when I just write it out. And the color matched so well. I was so excited. This one took me probably the longest after the coloring for Valley Verified, just because I like was doing it from reference and like looking at a bunch of things and trying to make sure it matched vaguely. I went through so many episodes of Friends while I was filming this. But then you can see I'm just writing in with this past, present, future. I didn't even talk about what the book's about. It's a sequel to Today, Tonight, Tomorrow, about Rowan and Neil at college, and it made me cry, and I never cry at books, so you should read it when it comes out in June. I just added a little swipe there just because I wanted it to have a little more color, but yeah. Next is Last Call at the Local by Sarah Grinder Ruiz. It has some glorious ADHD and OCD rep. It's set in Ireland. It's really, really good. And I like, the wait for this was a while. We had to wait a while for it, but I feel like it was worth it. It's the third book in like the Love Lists and Fancy Ships universe, but you definitely don't have to read those first. If you just want to hop into this one, I say hop into this one. And like, I don't know, like the local is a little Irish pub, and I just want to live in it and like look up at the stars and sing karaoke. That's how I feel. That's how this book is just so good. I listened to this one on audio, and the Irish narrator was so good. It was like, sometimes when you listen to people and they'll like fake an accent, I don't think he was faking. I think he might actually be Irish. Either that or it was just great. Like, it was so good. I loved it. And this one just really hits you in the feels, because it's like they want to be loved so badly, but like they need to work on themselves and like figure out what they need and things like that. And it's just like, ooh, it hurts so good. It hurts so good. Like, Rain, I feel like Rain is everything I want to be, except like without a planner. And then Jack is just like this hot tattooist. Oh my god. Drooling. And then finally, one of the more recent books I've read was Bride by Ali Hazelwood. And like, I'm not an Omega-verse girly, and like most of it didn't hit until the end, so like You'd Be Fine, but it was hot. I loved it. It was angsty. There was plot. Like, you can go look at my Goodreads review. Like, I just raving about this book. I can't wait for the sequel, because there's definitely going to be a sequel based on that ending. And I really liked the typeface on the front. I thought it was fun. It wasn't even that hard to replicate, which is like, boom, heyo. Because usually I feel like I'm taking forever to do it. And like, I don't know, I think I want to see Ali write, like, you know, some thrillers or some more fantasy style stuff, because it was cool. I really enjoyed it. I think it might be my favorite book by her. There was no stem. I mean, like, the main vampire character was a coder, but, you know, like, she didn't need to, because she was also a vampire, so, you know, there's that. And then here you can see, these are those brush paint markers again, and the moon really layers really well, which I liked. And like, I don't know, I just added like these little radiations around it, kind of like how, you know, how it would look over water. I don't know. I was a happy camper with this book though. Like, I loved it to pieces, and I'm gonna be recommending it for ages. But that's it. I spent like an hour and a half making these spreads. We're 12 minutes in, and I hope that you found a new book to read. Let me know what you're currently reading, because I definitely need some more options. And if there's anything that you really want to see me review in my book journal. As always, happy planning and happy reading.